There's Purdy in the gun. 3 receivers left. Kittle, Jennings, Debo from in to out. Ayuk is right. Purdy back. Time. Steps around from DeMarcus Lawrence. Throws for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Boy, what a start. First drive for this offense.
They got CeeDee Lamb, the number 3 receiver inside. Now he goes in motion right, followed by Isaiah Oliver. 49ers are tipping man on 3rd and 2. Dak back. Plenty of time. Pumps. Now rolls left. Now he's going to get sacked by Fred Warner and Javon Kinlaw. He's getting the ball out of his hands quick against everybody but the Niners. He held the ball way too long. Here's an end around and a flea flicker. Back to Brock Purdy. Takes a shot down the sideline to George Kittle. Kittle all the way to the end zone. Touchdown!
You see the cheese. 49ers football is officially back. The NFL kicks off this week, and the 49ers are headed to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. On today's episode, we're going to talk about which wide receivers are going to line up for the San Francisco 49ers. We got the latest in 49ers news and updates, and who will be captains. Let's break it down right here on the Wayne Breezie Show. Smash that like button, faithful. What's going on, 49er faithful? Let's get this show popping, baby. You already know what time it is. It's your boy Wayne Breezie, back for another Wayne Breezie Show, episode 301. 301. That's right, episode 301. I am officially now trying to keep tabs on how many episodes we're going to get through. All right. Now, for those that don't know, this is a 49ers news and update show. All right. And so we're going to be here every Monday, every Wednesday. All right. Around 12 p.m. Eastern time. It is Labor Day. So happy Labor Day out there to everybody. I hope you're enjoying your official last day off of the year. Right. Like that's kind of like how it is. Like you should not be working, just like I shouldn't be doing the show. But because of you and the faithful, I'm here. So y'all gonna give me a round of a damn applause for that. You know what I'm saying? What's good? Man, 49ers football. Look, it's time for the Breezy Bunch crew shout out. But before we do, guys, we got to get through the formalities of the show. So make sure you guys smash that like button, all right? And if you're new to the channel, like your first time watching, YouTube popped it on in your feed, like who is this handsome, lovable, huggable type of a guy? It's your boy Breezy. So make sure you go ahead and click on subscribe. Now, if you want to support the channel, support what we do here, right here on the channel, go ahead and become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew where you click on join. So for a monthly membership, you will be supporting the live streams and the shows that we put out here. And I got a ton of stuff for you all season long, from live shows, fantasy football, you name it. Like, we're going to be going live a lot. Nitty Gritty Niners will be back for those that love that show on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. So we got a lot of stuff in the works that we're ready to kick off this week. What's your fantasy football this week, Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. So make sure you guys stay locked in and your alerts are on all, so that way you don't miss any of the live shows as well as the videos that are going to be up here. Follow me, Instagram, X, all those places. The Wayne Breezie, it's right there for you. If you want to support, it's down there as well. And don't forget to check out our partners over at residency.com. That's right. Use that promo code SFBreezy by going to www.residency.com. Get you one of these cool fitteds, you know what I'm saying? Well, they don't have fitteds. Let me change my mind. Let me rework that. They got nice snapbacks, and I've become a fan of the trucker hats. I don't know why. I just feel like they fit on my head perfectly as far as the snapback, because the brim is already kind of like bent for that. And all this time, I'm a hat guy, right? All this time, I would buy snapbacks and I would wear them as if they were fitted and wonder why my forehead would hurt. And it's because I didn't bend the brim. So when you get you one of these trucker caps, it already comes with the brim kind of bent, you know, for my type of a forehead, right? I don't got a Gina forehead, but it obviously the regular snapbacks don't work. That's why I get fitted. 7 and 5/8. Kind of like fits right over my forehead. But guys, appreciate you. Let's get to the Breezy Bunch crew. We got the morning shout outs, and let's get this show popping. Who was first in the building from the crew? Boats in the building saying happy Labor Day to everyone. Jax Knox in the building. Hey, Wayne and Faithful, hope everyone weekend Labor Day is going well. Let's go. It's Seattle week. That's right. Shout out to everybody that's going to be going out to Seattle. Be safe out there. Safe travels. All that good stuff. We about to get this dub. Like and subscribe. Join the Breezy Bunch. Appreciate you, Jax. Now, if you are going to the game, make sure you hit up my guy John Chapman and get tickets to the 49ers Rush Road Trip events. You want to be at those events. I won't be there this weekend, but you want to be there, so that way you're hanging out with a safe environment with the greatest 49er fans out there, all right, run by John Chapman and the 49ers Rush Road Trip crew. So make sure you go to www.49ersrushroadtrip.com. Get your tickets early in advance. That way you are locked in with a spot and you're in a safe environment. And if you want to know why John puts on those types of events, it's because he's trying to create a safe space on the road for the faithful. That way you're not held up in some type of hostile bar or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because you go out to Seattle, you go to these road trips, man, and you don't know how the fans are gonna react. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure you're in a safe environment, and the Rush Road Trip crew make sure that that's how that goes down. Jax Knox in the building. I don't know why they're saying you're a new member, but shout out to you because you've been a member for 28 months, almost 3 years. Just wanted to give you some extra shout out love out there. You know what I'm saying? Blast. Ghetto. No, I'm not even going to read this, but you got it popping, Jax. Thank you so much. Niner Faithful in the building as well. Matthew, what's going on, baby? Don't bother me. Don't bother me. You got your fantasy football draft coming up. New draft. Love it. Love the setup. Love what's going on. It's called the Guillotine on Sleepers. And so it's like a chopped league. So you got to, if you guys have heard about this, I don't know if any of the other fantasy football, platforms do something like this, but Sleepers, which I've become a fan of, this is my favorite now. Sleepers has this Guillotine league, and it's like a chop league. So, well, it's not guillotine, it's called a chop league. And what happens is you get to redraft every single week. And so you got to get, you don't want to have the lowest score at the end of the week, because if so, it's getting chopped, right? And so it's going to force you to want to play. So don't bother me. Get ready. I'm ready to draft, baby. I'm ready. I was born ready. Fantasy football is my life. You feel me? Shout out to everybody that's on Facebook, that's on X, all that good stuff. 49ers Throwback in the building. What's going on, baby? It says, let's go. 2 O's, so it gets a go. If we would have added about 6 more O's, I'd have been like, go, right? Let's go, baby. We got this. Peachy Brown in the building. Good afternoon as well. Hoping you all are having a stupendous Labor Day. It's week 1. Lego, baby. Let's get it popping. Niner Faithful with a question, too. He says, captain's name yet? Nope. Because the 49ers are going to wait till like Saturday and they're going to name the captains. But we're going to try to guess captains not named yet. Other teams have named captains. They have, right? They have named their captains. 49er Jeff, what's going on, baby? Everything is good. Everything is everything out here. Ready to go Empire in the building. Marty Marr, what's good, family? JJ really wants wide receiver 1 money. Come on, man. Yeah, we talked about that on Friday's episode. He feels he's like one of those type of wide receivers that's worth up to, about 25 million. He's trying to look in that range. And if you did not check out Friday's episode, go back, because we actually went through the wide receivers that are getting paid in that tier. He may have a point. Look, he may have a point. I know it's crazy to us, but he may have a point. There may be something there to where he has a point. So go ahead and check that out. Eddie G and the Bulldogs, we got member shout outs for days, because that's what y'all do. Like, when you become a member, y'all hold this channel down, and I appreciate it. Colin in the building, all the way from across seas, man. Colin in the building. Rob D, what's going on out there? Appreciate the love. Listen, Rob, I forgot that the post offices are closed on today. So tomorrow I'll get my big behind up and I'll get down to the post office and I'll mail out your Frank Gore jersey. Rob D was the winner. Round of applause to Rob D of the Frank Gore. We were doing a random number, and then y'all are cheating, so we'll never do that again. And it's always going to be trivia. And he got the trivia question right. So shout out to Rob D out there. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Miss Leslie in the building. What's going on? Beat the Sea Chickens. That's what's up. I wish I had a can of tuna fish and I can call it sea chickens because, you know, they got the chicken by the sea. I wish I was good at recreating or redesigning certain things because I would love to beat them. You know what I mean? I would love to beat them like really bad. You know what I mean? I just would, you know. But again, shout out to all the members out there. And if I see y'all popping up because y'all be on CP time, I'll make sure to give you guys a shout out. Let's start the show off before we get into our news. Let's get to the super chat. We got a super chat early. Jax Knox in the building says, "Happy Labor Day, everyone. Beat the damn Seahawks." That's right. There we go. We got a connection problem. I hate to break it to you. I got a funny feeling it's going to be a close game. And y'all know how our nerves are about close games because close games means Robbie go. Now I'm just playing. Close games mean let's can we all bow our heads for a moment of that we know of. But just dearly beloved Heavenly Father, if the game happens to be a close game, just please give, your son Jake Moody, not the strength. I believe he was born with the strength. You gave him the leg strength, but give him the strength and the mind that he can make any kick at any given moment from any portion. Any name we pray, amen. Because here's the thing, he has not been released. He has not been cut. He is the 49ers kicker, says the team, says Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. If you guys believe in prayer, you will recite that prayer. I get it. I understand. At first, I'm like, y'all got to chill. And then I was like, you know what? I think I understand the knots y'all get into. I understand the knots you guys get into your stomach. Now, I apologize if there's a lag out there for everybody that's watching. I really don't control the technical stuff here. I'm just live streaming. It could be my internet. It could be the camera. I resetted the computer. So I made sure I covered my tracks. If there is a lag or a drag, please just, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it right now. We live, baby. It says I'm freezing up. I do apologize. You know what I'm saying? Again, I do apologize. The Wi-Fi on Labor Day. Look, y'all can clown me all you want. Nothing but Niners in the building. What's going on, man? Says, happy Labor Day, folks. The 49ers likely to start slow. Oh, he's talking about, they talk about during the season. Yeah. You know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. They're likely, which I prefer. I prefer the Niners starting slow. I prefer them to start slow. And I prefer them to heat up at a certain given moment. That week 14 bye is going to be weird because let's say they heat up. That bye can cause them to cool down. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be super weird. Corey, what's going on, baby, out there? Kylie, what's good, my guy? It's gonna be interesting how that works out. I see Aaron over on Facebook saying road games are scary enough. I was talking about Jake Moody. Look. We need to look up. You know what? Can somebody look up? Can somebody tell me where's Oscar when I need him? Can somebody tell me Jake Moody's percentage against the Seahawks on the road? He's kicked there a couple of times. He's been in the league. This is his third year. So he's been there. So has he missed there? Just curious to know. It's Lumen Field. Somebody look up that for me. We get it while we're live on the show. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But look, at the end of the day, I do apologize if it's freezing up. My bad. I was so ready to do this show, and I'm going to stop talking for a little bit. And let's get it popping. At the end of the day, if it does come down to Jake Moody, this will be the time where he's going to either earn his job Like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be the time he's going to earn his job. Now, let's talk about some of the news that's going on out there with the San Francisco 49ers. You guys already know that there is a certain player out there looking to return, and he is in the freaking Bay. All right, he's in the Bay. All right, so let's get this popping. He is in the Bay. We're talking about wide receiver Kendrick Bourne. He is out there in the Bay. And now how do I know? Because he posted it, right? So there's the picture. He's being driven. Looks like, you know, before they take off, he's computing the address or whatever or like that. And good. He's in Santa Clara. Look, here's my thing about Kendrick Bourne, San Francisco 49ers, but just don't let him leave. Don't let him leave, because I feel like the Niners need more wide receivers, because that's just a tricky position. And might as well bring in a wide receiver that actually worked in this system. Once Kendrick Bourne understood what he needed to do in Kyle Shanahan's system, I got a question, because I don't know the answer. So I was told if I don't know something, my mama said, if you don't know, you ask, because I don't remember how long Lance Hankerson has been here as the wide receiving coach, but who was the wide receiver coach when Kendrick Bourne was here? That's a good question, but he was here in Kyle Shanahan's system, so he is in the Bay as we speak. I feel like it's glitching up again. My apologies. It is what it is, and it is what it is. All right, so I got the word. I got the news. I asked a question about Jake Moody. We'll talk a little bit more about Kendrick Bourne. If you guys have any questions about Kendrick Bourne, go ahead and put it down there. But Jake Moody he scored 16 points in Seattle, kicking against the Seahawks. He's 100% on field goals and 100% on extra points. 100% on field goals, 100% on extra points. I'm going to say it again. He's 100% on field goals and 100% on extra points. That's against the Seahawks. I don't know if that's on the road, but I don't know if that's, you know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Here we go. Rob D missed 3 field goals in Seattle on September 7th. Oh, you're saying he's going to? Because that's when we play, right? Don't we play September 7th? Wow. Interesting. All of those were at home. So he's 100% at home, but at the end of the day, 100% at home, who is that going? Like, how is that going to result on the road? All right? How is that going to result on the road? This is going to be interesting. This is going to be super interesting to see. So Wes Welker, I see, was... We didn't play September 7th last year. So you got to be talking about right now. All right. We got to be talking about right now. All right. So let's talk about that. That could be interesting. Like just hold that thought. Hold that thought. Now, Kendrick Bourne, to me, would be a nice addition to the 49ers. Currently, he's healthy. Why was he released by the Patriots? I don't know. Maybe just Josh McDaniels just felt like he didn't fit what they're trying to do with the offense. You know, who knows? Who cares at this point? It's a free agent. And the Niners are interested. And usually when the Niners are interested in a player, they're probably going to make sure that that player finds a way. All right. You know, finds a way. You know what I'm saying? And so that's going to be interesting. All right. So Hankerson was here since 2019. When did Kendrick Bourne leave the 49ers? That's going to be interesting. All right. Nothing but Niners says, if Kendrick Bourne is signed, does that mean something is up with Jennings? Is it directly related? I like this question. It's a good question. Guys, I said ask your questions. If you guys got questions, you know what I'm saying? All right. So what I said was, here's the interesting thing. So they carried Juwan Jennings on the active roster. And I'm curious to know what they're going to do with Juwan Jennings. Because if he is nursing this calf injury, is he going to be a candidate for the IR with the signing of, you know what I'm saying, Kendrick Bourne? And that was actually my question to the faithful. Kendrick Bourne's in the Bay. If the 49ers sign KB, who will they release? Or they don't have to release a player. So they don't have to release a player. They could put or place wide receiver Juwan Jennings on the IR, which means he will be inactivated for 4 weeks, and then the Niners will figure out what they're going to do with Juwan Jennings moving forward. and, they can still work out some type of a contract extension or whatever. He'll still get paid because he's injured. At the end of the day, the Niners could be finagling that. All right. They could be finagling that. All right. So we'll see what happens. So Lance Hankerson was the wide receiving coach for Kendrick Bourne. So this is good. He's been in the system. Hankerson was here since 2019. This is the information you guys just put out there. He's been in the system. Kendrick Bourne left in 2021. And so for Kendrick Bourne, this would be great. He returns to a system that he's super familiar with. And let me ask y'all this. Who was third down king before Juwan Jennings? Can anybody in the chat remind me who was third down king before Juwan Jennings? I give you 2 hints. His initials were KB. He couldn't catch a pass on first down. He couldn't catch a pass on second down. But when third down came, when third down showed up, it didn't matter if it was 3rd and 99 or if it was 3rd and 96 or 3rd and 15. They usually were 3rd and longs. Somehow, one of the slowest wide receivers that San Francisco 49ers have ever had. He's not fast. Neither was Juwan Jennings. It's so funny. He found ways to get first downs on third downs. I don't know what it was, but that joint was, that's something amazing, which that's why I like the question, but nothing but Niners. What does this mean about Juwan Jennings? Because now the Niners will get that third down possession type of a receiver back. All right, so Wes Welker was the coach. Whatever. All right. Y'all tell me what it is. Y'all got me putting out bad info. That's on y'all. Charge it to the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure it out while I'm live. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he's going to be returning home to a Kyle Shanahan type of system. Doesn't matter who his coach is. It all comes down to, can he fit the system? And the answer is yes. We saw him be productive in Kyle Shanahan's system. Let's take a look at the San Francisco 49ers wide receivers. While we're at it, we might as well go ahead and look at my good old nifty, depth chart that I have. Now, this is my depth chart. This is kind of like what I created for the San Francisco 49ers and where I see the players actually being as far as depth. But we'll see what happens once this depth chart is actually officially released. Like, I have no idea what it's going to be as of right now. Now, it is color coordinated, so just go down to the key. Red means injured reserve. Green just means that they were 2025 draft picks. Blue means they were undrafted free agents. Orange is the trades or free agency. PUP, NFI is in gray. Camp injury, yellow. Suspended, purple. All right, suspended purple. So as far as the wide receivers, and we'll talk a little bit more about this. I got Ricky Pearsall, Malik Turner. I don't know why I have him in here twice. I feel like I made a mistake and named somebody wrong. So that's what happens when you work on these things at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Marquez Valdez Scantlin, and then bottom down here, Juwan Jennings, Sky Moore, Robbie Chosen, Jordan Watkins. So this data is available for everybody on the Patreon if they paid. They join the $1 tier. All right. So you will have access to the data. If you are a Patreon member, let me just make this quick reminder. All right. There is a tier of $1, which will give you access to the documents that I create throughout the regular season. This is not it. I'm looking to create my own version of a PFF. We'll call it BFF. We'll call it Breezy, whatever the FF stands for. All right. I'm going to be looking to create that. So that way you guys can have stats and statistics and things like that for you guys throughout the regular season to where it is what it is, right? So for $1, I might have to up the price because it's going to take me some time to create. But at the end of the day, you better join now for $1. I'm telling you right now, get on this. Okay. All right. Get on this. All right. So I'll make sure that this is updated. Again, this is my depth chart. This is not an official depth chart. You can see it says unofficial at the bottom. All right. So pay attention to that. But just looking at it. All right. That's what we have. Pearsall. Robinson is suspended, right? So he's not going to play the first 3 games. Malik Turner's on the practice squad. Valdez Scantlin on the practice squad. All right. So this means something. Like Kendrick Bourne coming in here could be very helpful to the 49ers wide receiving core. And we'll talk a little bit more about the wide receivers because I'm curious to know who the heck is lining up against those Seattle DBs week 1 because Seattle, believe it or not, and I don't mean to smile, but Seattle has one of my favorite DBs. Like anybody tell me who was one of my draft crushes this upcoming draft? Let's see if anybody was paying attention. Does Russell Gage not up here? Maybe that's who I meant to put up there. There we go. So let's put Russell Gage up here, and then I'll change his depth at some point. I thought I had him up here. Nope, I didn't. That's what I meant. Russell Gage Jr. should be up here. All right. And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about which I think Russell Gage Jr. is going into that Demarcus Robinson spot. Believe it or not, that's where I think he's going to go. Breezy football focus. I love it. I love it. Yeah, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I got going on. So I tell you what, we'll talk about these wide receivers a little bit more in depth. We'll go through some of this, but just take a look at the rest of the depth chart. I mean, you can see the running backs are set. The offensive line is set. You can see I got Christian McCaffrey, Brian Robinson Jr., Isaac Reno. And I'm going to do a video for the Patreon members when I do my official, create my official depth chart where I feel like they're supposed to go. And I'll explain why a little bit more on the Patreon. So make sure you guys subscribe to the Patreon so you can get those exclusive videos. I like that Breezy football focus. I feel like I want to change up the FF though. The FF. If we can kind of change up the FF just a little bit, Breezy football something. Breezy effing football. Breezy football. Something like Breezy football. I like that. I really do like that. I'm not going to lie, 49er Jeff. All right, so there's the defense as well. You can see the depth there, the defense. Good to have Yetur Gross-Matos back. All right, look at our defensive line. I kind of really love this defensive line. I'm not going to lie. I got Jordan Elliott, Alfred Collins starting. This is what I'm talking about, man. Big, beefy, chunky Campbell soup motherfuckers in the middle. Like that's what I'm talking about. I just don't feel like the run is going. They're going to be able to run on this defense like other teams have done in the past. Does anybody have the jersey numbers for Russell Gage Jr. off the top of the dome and Jordan Jefferson, the defensive tackle that we claimed off of waivers? Does anybody have that? I want to input this data while you guys are watching. I think he does start over Khalil Davis. And it's a good question, TG. Now, here's my theory. And like I said, I'm going to break this down on the Patreon a little bit more. But let me know what you think about this, TG. I disagree with you slightly. I understand he's still a work in progress, but he's a 2nd-round draft pick, and Khalil Davis was a 5th-round draft pick or a 6th-round draft pick. And at the end of the day, I think the upside with Alfred Collins is a lot. The ceiling is a lot higher. I think he needs the reps. I would rather put my guy, not that the guy that has been here longer, I'd rather put the guy that I know has the more talent out there. The 49ers focus is to stop the run. Khalil Davis, in my opinion, is not a run-stopping defensive tackle. He's a guy you want in on 3rd down to rush the passer. He has this gift and ability and quick twitch to where he can get to the passer and create the pressure. On 1st and 2nd down, depending on, especially 1st down, most teams are going to come out and run, right? They're going to see how many yards they can get, whatever, blah, blah. They may try to negate that a little bit as the season goes along, but at the end of the day, I think Alfred Collins needs to be out there on 1st and 2nd downs, especially if it's 2nd and short and things like that. When you get to the 3rd downs, 3rd and longs, I think you release some of those other interior guys like your CJ West's, your Khalil Davis's. You let those guys play inside. But TG, let me know what you think, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just curious to know how you feel about that. All right, Russell Gage at 14 is what I say. Okay, Breezy fundamental focus. Listen, my mind is everywhere. I love this. Can we give 49er Jeff a round of applause? I like that. Breezy football fundamentals. Breezy football fundamentals. I like that a lot. All right, we got 96 on Jordan Jefferson. Let's go ahead and enter that. I see that in the chat as well. Jack says she definitely agrees. And you got to look at why they drafted Alfred Collins. Okay, you got to look why they drafted him. And I think his main purpose right now, his main purpose is to come in here and stop the run. Has anybody got a chance to watch? and I know this is not relevant to the Niners, but it's football relevant. Has anybody got a chance to watch the Cowboys documentary on Netflix? Let me know if you guys got a chance to watch it. And if you didn't, it's all good. But I'm starting to have a different understanding for Jerry Jones from what I saw in the documentary. If you ask me what's wrong with Jerry Jones, I would tell you he's just not a football guy. I'm wrong about that. He came into the game as not a football guy, but he's been in the game for a long time, which makes him more apt to football. I think I understand now the Micah Parsons trade. I know a lot of people are going to be scratching their head, but I think I get it. Jerry Jones understands that, defenses win championships for sure, but I think the harder players to replenish, the ones that sell tickets, the ones that sell jerseys, the ones that are good or better for business are those that are on the offensive side. And if you go back and watch what Jerry Jones did, and I knew there's a reason why I couldn't stand Dallas, but I couldn't really pinpoint why I hated Dallas. It was not just because they were whipping our in the 90s. It just wasn't that. It was how they were whipping our in the 90s. Like they built that offense. That offense was built by Jerry Jones. Jimmy Johnson ran it. They won some Super Bowls, but Jerry Jones knew what to do. He traded Herschel Walker for some bum players. But in the contract, it said that if they released those players, they would turn into picks. And so in that next draft, he was able to get his running back, blah, 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 whatever. Like Jerry Jones flipped that team. So I'm looking from that documentary, I'm kind of seeing what he's doing. He's trying to recreate that. I feel like their time, if you're a Cowboys fan, I feel like your timing is off. Because when you drafted the running back and Zeke Elliott, you didn't have the wide receiver. Des Bryant wasn't the guy. Now you got CeeDee Lamb and you don't have the running back. You got the quarterback, but they're missing that one piece. It's that trifecta. When I look at the 49ers, I felt like they're almost 2/3 in the game, because if you go back and watch the Niners in the 80s and 90s, what did they have? They had the quarterback, whether it was Joe Montana or Steve Young. They had the running back, didn't matter who it was, whether it was Roger Craig or whomever. And then they had the receivers. The Niners, to bring this into full circle, who the f*** are the receivers? And it sucks because Brandon Ayuk is that receiver. Unfortunately, he's on the PUP, which means he's not playing. So who's going to be that guy? And we're going to get into that. Like we're going to dive in to the San Francisco 49ers wide receivers right after this. Make sure you guys go out to www.residency.com. Use that promo code SFBreezy, and I promise you'll save $5. I'm not going to say you're going to save a whole bunch of money. You're going to save $5. Okay? You're going to save $5 on your total purchase. All right? So take heed to that. It is super important. If you like to save money like I like to save money, go ahead and take advantage. And they got Labor Day sale stuff going on right now. So if you guys head over there, you can take advantage of the sale that they have going on as well. You know what I'm saying? As well as using the promo code and save a few more dollars on that. All right, let's get to the 49ers jersey schedule. So I wanted to get y'all takes on this really quickly before we go over some roster moves. We'll talk about captains, and then we'll end the show with who's going to suit up. All right, so they got the white primary jerseys for the San Francisco 49ers. All right, so the white primaries are in the building, and they are going to be wearing these week 1 on the road. All right, week 2 on the road. So back-to-back road games, September 7th, September 14th. They're also going to be wearing these. It looks like week 4 is a home game. All right, I believe September 28th at home against the Jags. That's interesting because from what I read by Matt Mayoko, it's still going to be hot out there, and they get to choose which jerseys, because they're the home team, which jerseys they want to wear, right? And we've seen teams do this against us. We'll be like, oh, yeah, we're on the road. Nah, the home team gets to dictate which jerseys that you have to wear. So week 4, September 28th against the Jags. Then week 5, October 2nd, against the Rams. Week 12, they're going to be wearing their white primaries. October 12th. Week 6, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Week 8 against the Houston Texans, October 26th. Week 9 on the road. I'll be at that game. Ding, 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 ding. Let's get it popping. I'll be at week 6, week 8, and week 9. So I'll be in Houston and I'll be in New York. All right. So October 26th, November 2nd, I'll be at both games back to back. I'll be doing back to back road trips. Let's go, Breezy. Let's go. And then week 11 against the Arizona Cardinals on the road. Week 13 against the Cleveland Browns. And then week 16, December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas, they will be wearing their whites. All right. Now, red primary, 3. All right. So 3 home games where they're going to rock the red primaries. I already told you they're going to be wearing the white jersey a couple of times at home. So here we go. All right. Week 10, November 9th against the Rams. 12, November 24th. That's a Sunday against the Panthers. I think it's a Sunday night game if I'm not mistaken. And then week 15 against the Tennessee Titans. They'll be rocking the original red primary jerseys. And let's get to the throwbacks because this is what we really want. We want more throwback jersey games, right? Am I the only one that wants more throwback jersey games? Is it just me? It could be just me. All right. Red throwbacks, week 7, October 19th. Week 17 against the Bears, December 28th. And then the white throwbacks, that's a home game. That's a home game, if I'm not mistaken. So all the games in September, they're rocking white if they're home. They're rocking white on the road and at home. Just want people to know that. Week 3, Arizona Cardinals coming into town. They're going to be wearing their red throwbacks. Niners going to be wearing their white throwbacks. I feel like both of these are dope. These are 94 jerseys. These are my favorite jerseys. I'm not gonna lie. Stephanie, you said the white jerseys are freaking fire. I was about to say I take the white throwback over the red throwback, but I want both of the throwbacks. Like, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh. But these are fine. So 3 games of throwbacks. Here's my thing, right? Why are we wearing okay. They typically would have worn throwbacks 4 times. Maybe that's a league thing. Is that a league rule? Does anybody know if that's a league rule to where you can only wear a throwback jersey a certain amount of times per season? Now, the rivalry jerseys, a lot of people still don't like these. I don't know why. These joints are fire like these are fire. All right. Anyway, if you don't like it, that's cool. That's your prerogative. At the end of the day, they're going to be wearing these week 18, last game of the season. Now, I had it booked for January 4th, but it says to be determined because that date, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. Boom. Now, the rivalry jerseys officially go on sale September 10th. Officially, that's the word. Like they officially. Now, if you got the hookup and you on your Master P stuff, and if you remember Master P, throw the thumbs up in the mother freaking chat. Like Master P, holla if you hear me. I got the hookup. You know what I'm saying? Nolans, Cat, Master P. If you got the hookup, funny movie too. That was probably one of the funny movies I saw in the movie theater when Master P released that movie. I don't know if that was his first movie, but I remember going to see that movie. I felt like Ezel was in there from Friday, but it was a Master P movie. I do remember that. It was about cell phones and all that crap. Anyway, it was funny. But if you got the hookup, you know what I'm saying, don't tell me here, but slide into my DMs because you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, hey, if you can get the official joints, let me know. You know what I mean? Let me know. Look at that. Look at y'all, man. Y'all telling y'all age. Y'all got to stop telling y'all age, man. Aaron, you old. 90 Gang Podcast, you old. I'm not going to say that about our ladies. Nope. 49 Jeff old. Not going to say that about our ladies. Don't bother me old. Ronnie old. I'm old as freak. Mr. Ice Cream, I remember that. Oh my gosh. Oh, Aaron, we the same age, baby. I was having flashbacks the other day because I was like, yo, we literally how old were we? 11, 10? How old were we when we saw the last championship? We are like, oh my gosh. I was just thinking about that. Like, God. Like, I'm not asking anybody their ages, but if they remember Master P in that movie, we old at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Holla if you hear me. So, yeah, man, the Niners are going to look officially clean on the football field. I'm loving every freaking minute of it. Like I am. The Niners are going to look clean, whether they're in their throwbacks, rivalry jerseys. When they hit that home game, and I wish it was a night game. When they hit that last game of the year and they come out in all black, it's got to be a night game, right? It won't look right during the day, right? But if it's night, it's got to be prime time, so it can't be a night game. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I don't know, but they're going to be clean. I promise you. They're going to be clean for sure. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and keep this show moving. You guys are the best freaking faithful fans out there in the world. And I'm grateful that you're tuning here on your day off if you're not working, with the San Francisco to hear about the 49ers. All right, so roster moves. They signed offensive lineman Kellyan Zyrer, I think that's how you say his name, and Evan Anderson, defensive lineman Evan Anderson, to the practice squad. So I believe the Niners have 17 on the practice squad. I think Kellyan Zyrer takes up that international player spot, the IPP spot. Why the Niners can hold 17. So if he's designated for that makes sense. They've got the other 16 players, with Evan Anderson being that 16th player. The Niners did release safety Richie Grant, who made the active 53. He made the initial 53-man roster. I'm not scratching my head. I did not have him making my predictable initial 53. He didn't make it, but he did make the 49ers 53, and now he has been released. Now, I don't know who they're going to release off the practice squad today if they tend to bring him back. I also have practice squad documents too, so if you guys want to check that out, you betcha by golly wow can. Now that is free for anyone on the Patreon that signs up to my channel. You just click on the link and then bada boom, bada bing, it's there. So if you're on Patreon and you sign up to my channel, it is free and available for you, all right? It is free and available for you. So take advantage of the free stuff and help a brother out. All right, cool. All right, so those are the latest in the roster moves. Let's talk about these captains, because I feel like the Niners, without stating who the captains are, told us who the captains are. Does it make sense? Like, without releasing the captains, they told us. Now, I don't have the actual jersey, the graphics, but I do remember the Niners releasing their 53-man rosters. And if you go and look on those graphics, if you check on those graphics, you're going to see a little symbol by a certain player's name, right? Certain player's name. Now, the Niners have tons of players that I feel like can be designated to be captains. I'm going to name a player that I don't know if he's going to be a captain. And don't be mad. Deommodore Lenoir. Nothing against him, but he did have that off-season situation, and that may have hurt his captainship. Again, the players vote for the captains. The coaches kind of like either veto it or they let it rock, right? How many captains do you think the San Francisco 49ers are going to have? And it's nothing against Demo. It's just, I think that situation may strip him from captainship. So he'll have to captain in a different way. That's just my thoughts. I could be wrong. I want to be wrong. I want Demo to be the guy. And Demo, man, listen, if you feel like you want to respond back to me, be sure. Just be ready to catch the smoke back, dog. Because I don't bite my tongue for no one. Call me evil or unbelievable, but you did something. What is what it is. I forgive you. You didn't do anything to me. I don't think it was that detrimental or serious, but I don't know how everybody else sees it. So that's just those are my thoughts. But that doesn't mean I don't think he's going to be all pro. That doesn't mean I don't think he's going to be a Pro Bowl player. He's going to be all of that. He's going to be all pro, Pro Bowl, and earn every cent of his contract. And shoot, if he has a Pro Bowl, All Pro year, both in the same year, I'm trying to extend the motherfucker. Like that's where I am. We got bread. Let's extend them. Why the short term contract? Lock him up. Lock up the hyena. Like, you know what I mean? Just lock him up. All right, you guys putting stuff in the chat. All right, so Crazy Juice says 5. My man Steven Draper says 6. All right, so 6 captains. I like that. Now, I got some people saying that they actually put some names in there. TG says Kittle, Trent, and Warner. So that's 3 for you. Big Daddy Niners, another member of the Breezy Bunch. Woo! All right, Bosa, Warner, Kittle, Brock, Trent, and he says Demo. So that's 6 players. I like that. I think they go with 5. I want them to go with 6. I feel like 5 is too little. And Demo's going to be a captain. I'm just going to keep it a buck. He's earned the captainship. I hope what he didn't taint that. Again, the players are voting. The players might look at that situation and be like, man, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my captain. Like, I'm going to listen to what he says. I'm going to go run through a wall for Demo. You could tell that cornerback room is playing with a different, tenacity, a different mindset and things like that. Demo is the leader of the cornerback room. They got exactly what they need in there. My man Callie says Fred, CMC, Bosa, Trent, and Juice. Does Juice earn the captain? And if he does, which I feel like he should, not because he's just been around for the longest, the cat is well and thoroughly respected in that and on that team. He is thoroughly respected. Like, the respect level is crazy. I like that. I actually like that. It'd be funny if Christian McCaffrey's not a captain, but Juice is the captain of the running back room. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll see what happens. But I do like your picks. Let's see if any more members got 7. Niner Faithful says 7, which would probably include Juice, right? So we said the 6, which would include Demo, and then Juice would be that 7th. I think it's going to be 7 now. If the situation with Demo doesn't hinder him, I like the number 7. I'm with you. I think that number 7. If not, I think it's going to be 6. 5 seems too little. 5 seems too little for me. I think the number is going to be 7. TG, I cannot put that up here because you will get me in trouble. All right, you will get me in trouble. Okay. Chrissy says he handled that situation very maturely. He's good. He did handle the situation maturely. He did address the public, the 49ers public. They asked him about it at a presser. He did admit to his faults. So I agree. But that's coming from our eyes. I don't know how the rest of the eyes see that situation. I think that's the issue. Like, that's the issue. And what if the league, wants to rule on it? He was arrested. The league is going to have to say, this is nothing, or they're going to have to address it. The league has the right to do that because he was arrested. So arrested is arrested. It doesn't really matter what you get arrested for. It doesn't matter if you're right, if you're wrong. That arrested part sucks. That's going to make the league look into it. Let's just hope and pray that the league doesn't see anything or any violations to the league's policies, because he didn't do anything right other than resist arrest. It wasn't that. Not really resist arrest, but forgot. Like he just didn't give the officer the damn keys. I'm not giving nobody my keys neither. What you need my keys for, sir? You gonna drive my car? If so, then you need to slide some money into my Venmo or Cash App, because if you crash my car, I'm coming after that ass. That's 100%. So at the end of the day, like, it shouldn't have been that serious. You know what I'm saying? He was arrested for, that's a good question, Niner Faithful. He was arrested for not complying with the officers on duty. So his friend, apparently, they were doing something parked illegally on the street or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then the police were called because they were making a scene. I guess they were loud. And the police came down. And the friend, I believe, had a weapon in the car. And Demo had the keys. And when the officer asked for the keys, he said, nah. I would have said nah, too. And I know I said back then he probably should have just gave him the keys. That way he wouldn't have got arrested. But he was going to get arrested regardless. So, like, at the end of the day, he got arrested for not complying with the officer. That's what happened. So did he handle the situation maturely? 1,000%. Did he get arrested? 1,000%. Obstruction. There you go. That's the word. Woo! You know what I'm saying? That's the word. There you go. All right? There you go. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. All right. So there it is. Now, like I said, it is what it is. Does it hurt his captainship? It shouldn't. But if the league, not to say that the league controls the captains, but he did get arrested. I don't know if that's I don't know. You know what? It's not my forte. I think we all came to a consensus where we feel like it's going to be 5, 6, or 7. So we're going to roll with 5, 6, 7. Too bad we didn't go with 4, 5, 6, because I feel like those are good numbers in some type of a game. I forgot the name of the game. 4, 5, 6 in it. Orange, Bo Jackson, New York, Knicks in it. Those are good numbers. You know what I mean? But we're going to go with 5, 6, or 7. That doesn't even have the flow. 5, 6, 7, something, and then we go into heaven. I don't know. I don't know what rhymes with 7. Yeah, heaven and 7. That's all I get. That's what you get. That's what you get. You're not paying, so that's what you get. And I'm not going to be creative. So, yeah. But 5, 6, 7. It's going to be one of them 3 numbers. I truly do that. All right. Let's get down to what we came here for. Let's talk about these receivers. Now, we do know that Kendrick Bourne, just to recap, he is in the Bay. And I don't think the 49ers are going to let him leave. I think he is going to become a 49er. I truly do. I truly think he's going to become a 49er. All right. Now, Big Brick says 6 is the most they can have per NFL rules. I thought the Niners had like 7 captains one year. I thought they had like 8 captains one year. I thought they had a lot of captains one year. Maybe the league did change the rules. So, Big Brick, you could be right. So, thank you for that information. All right. Week 1, you got the Seattle Seahawks. Did anybody guess one of my draft crushes out there? I asked everybody who was my draft crush at the beginning of the show. And it was a certain DB that I had that I felt like the 49ers should have drafted. All right. Now, does anybody know who that player is? Let's see if you guys were paying attention to me. I want to give you a hint, but as soon as I give you a hint, y'all going to be like, oh, yeah, that's him. So let me know if in the comment section. Now, he's the wild card, but he's a rookie. He's a rookie. And when I look at Seattle Seahawks defense, I already know that McDonald, he has a type, and he literally is building the type. I'm not saying Seattle's defense is going to be like go from 0 to 100 real quick, but he did a good job at removing certain players, letting certain players go, and building his type. I tell you what, TG, man, can somebody give this guy a membership? TG, just become a member. Nick Emanwari. That's the wild card piece. Why? This kid got the speed, he's got the range, and most importantly, he's got the size. This kid is built like a former Seahawk, which we all hated. like we hated him. You know what I'm saying? Because all he did was lay the boom. So he has the pop, but he has the speed, he has the hands, he has the flexibility. He can make it a little bit tough on George Kittle. I say George Kittle is uncoverable. There's a couple of tight ends that give George Kittle the fits in the NFL, you know what I'm saying, where it's a good matchup. But this kid's size and speed, a safety, if they got him playing safety, if they got him playing big nickel, I don't know. Like, I can't wait to break this freaking down. But at the end of the day, they got some DBs. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, their DBs are trash. All right. I'm not going to do that. That's not who I am. Now, if they were trash, I would. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think their DBs are trash. And I don't think I'm wrong for pointing out who we're going to be facing, because our wide receivers, people might look at our wide receivers and say that the 49ers wide receivers are trash. And I can't sit there and be like, you're wrong. I mean, I'm not saying they're trash, but they're just unproven. You know, if Juwan Jennings doesn't suit up week 1, there's not one proven wide receiver on this roster. Not one. That's concerning to me, because if the teams come out and stack the box and Brock has to throw the ball and they're forcing Brock to throw, I hate to say it, but I'm getting Baltimore Ravens Christmas Day flashbacks. Christmas night. Flashback. I'm getting those. Why? Because I'm looking at how their head coach has rebuilt the defense. Coming from Michigan, I already know how he wants his defense to be. And he likes those big DBs. And I'm talking about big as far as in size with speed. So I'm just looking at their DBs. I'm just going to talk about them a little bit. All right, Reek Woolen, right? That's a big guy. He didn't draft him, but he inherited him. They got Devin Witherspoon. That's probably their wild card. That right there, he's a tough matchup in the slot. Who we putting in the slot? If Juwan Jennings, Uncle Salty, what's going on, baby? If Juwan Jennings doesn't play, I'm sorry, I said something wrong. My bad. If Juwan Jennings doesn't play, who I'm lining up in the slot over a Devin Witherspoon? Juwan Jennings versus Devin Witherspoon. You can give me Juwan Jennings all day. He's got the size. Pause. I gotta stop saying the word size. He's got the build. Yeah, he's got the build. And so give me that. Give me that. He would. I think he would cook it. I think Devin would play him very well. I think it would be super sticky tight coverage. But we got our Devin Witherspoon. I really love Upton style. I feel like that's the guy we got. We got our small guy, can run the slot routes and things like that. Keep with these guys. But you put a big guy on him. Right? So boom. So you got him. They got Julian Love as their safeties. Bryant Colby as their safeties. These are all guys who are returning back to his program. The only new player that they have out there, all right, Josh Jobe as their other and then Nehemiah Pritchard. I liked him coming out of college. Nick Emanwori, I think, is going to be their wild card piece as strong safety. Now, he's listed second on their depth chart as of right now. All right. But I'm telling you, if we come out in these 3 wide receiver sets, or we come out in a certain type of a set, I would not be surprised, depending on who we bring out there, if this guy comes out on the football field. And if I'm Brock Purdy, I'm getting ready for the money. I'm throwing to the rookie. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who he is. I don't care where he came from. I don't care how much I love him. I'm taking advantage of every rookie that's out there on the football field. I want Nick Emanwori on the football field. No, Seattle doesn't scare me. He is just a different type of a player. And week 1, I don't want him to have access to go off against the 49ers, because the product that we're putting out there on the football field. But so for those that said Nick Emanwori in the chat, thank you for paying me some type of attention. I truly appreciate it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's dope. That makes me feel really good down on the inside. All right. But they got some DBs. They got a pass rush. Their defense is something that I wouldn't overlook. That's why the Niners, and we'll talk about this on Friday. Friday's episode, we're going to do like a game plan. We're going to, the show I used to do with John, John's not available for the game plan. So I'm going to do the game plan. And maybe what I'll do this year is I'll bring on different content creators every Friday to discuss their game plan. How about that? We just created a show, man. Give me a round of applause for just thinking. Y'all got me cheesing out here. All right, so again, Niners, who's going to line up at wide receiver? I hate to rule out a guy like Juwan Jennings, but he has not been ruled out. Do we think Juwan Jennings is going to suit up week 1? It all depends on this stupid calf injury that they say. And I really think it's the contract situation. But I'm going back to my depth. I talked about depth, and I'm going to go back to my depth. And it's going to be Ricky Pearsall, okay? And Russell. We got 5 wide receivers. God, wait a minute. Am I missing something here? Well, 5 that's on the active roster. So here are the active roster guys: Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Russell Gage Jr., Sky Moore, Jordan Watkins, the rookie. And I just want to reiterate, Jordan Watkins is recovering from a high ankle sprain. For those that don't remember, Russell Gage Jr. is officially on the active roster. So Sky Moore, Russell Gage Jr., Ricky Pearsall. I feel like Sky Moore is going to be lined up because he's going to be a return guy. And if Juwan Jennings doesn't go, that's one less wide receiver. But when you go to the practice squad, here are your options from the practice squad. So let's just say, all right, Nick Wagner just said that, okay, this is live. Nick Wagner says that, well, I don't know if Nick Wagner said this, but I'm just believing Nick Wagner is saying that he's suiting up. Niners Nation said he's suited up for practice right now. So we got some Juwan Jennings sightings out there on the football field. Him suiting up is huge for the Niners, because I'm going to tell you right now, we need him out there. He's in uniform. Thank you, Niners _Nation. Wide receiver Juwan Jennings is, capital is, in uniform and on the field during early open portions of Monday practice, which means he's out there, he's doing the stretching. Let's see if he does the practicing. And if he doesn't, let's just see how that builds throughout the week. I really think they're trying to rework Juwan Jennings back into the fold, but he's got to get into football shape. That's my only concern. Do I rock with an unfootball shaped guy like Juwan Jennings and really open him up to some type of an injury to play week 1, who has not done any of the training camp? He has not played in any of the preseason games. Am I comfortable with that, or do I rock? And here are the practice squad guys. I said I was going to name these: Junior Bergen, undrafted free agent; Robbie Chosen, Malik Turner, or Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So if there's no Jennings and they don't sign Kendrick Bourne, which wide receiver are they bringing up off the practice squad? Which wide receiver are they bringing up off the practice squad? Curious to know what you guys think out there. It's going to get interesting for the 49ers. Let's just hope Juwan Jennings is ready to shoot up, is ready to go, is cleared to play, is fully healthy, right? Let's hope all. That's a lot of hoping, but we're the faithful, so that's all we can do is hope. All right. I like this comment right here. I'm going to think positive right now. Normally don't, but it's time for a change. Jax is going to think positive. I asked you, who would you take? 49er Jeff says Robbie Chosen. All right. I like that. I'm curious, though, if it's going to be Malik Turner because of his gunning abilities on special teams, or Marquez Valdez-Scantling. That's what Niner Faithful says, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So it's going to be interesting, all right? It's going to be super interesting which wide receivers are going to be suiting up for week 1. Here's the one I know that's going to suit up week 1. That's Ricky Pearsall, and he will get an opportunity to show that he's this team's number 1 wideout. Number 1 wideout. I like that. Ricky Pearsall, first round pick to number 1 wideout. Make some noise, everybody out there. Man, listen, man, I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy Breezy on Labor Day. I want you to enjoy this day with your loved ones and do as much as you can. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, please, man. And if this is your first time watching, man, definitely hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button as well. And you can become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew, which I will definitely look forward to interacting with you on and off the channel. Make sure you stay locked into all the shows. We got a lot of stuff this week. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, all right? So just bear with me before we dip up out of here. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Breezy Bunch crew. That's important. Shout out to all of the members of the Breezy Bunch crew. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in and being interactive in the live chat via YouTube. All right, we were live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and X. You know, it could have been a Facebook thing because I had to reconnect to Facebook. It could have messed up some of the streaming. Anyway, it is what it is. Appreciate you guys. But all right, so Mondays and Fridays, just to go over a quick schedule, and I will post this on my social media so that you guys can know when I'm going live. There's going to be different types of shows. But Mondays and Fridays is going to be the Wayne Breezie Show. Friday, we're going to do the special edition of it's going to be called The Game Plan. Wayne Breezie Show, The Game Plan. I will be looking. Now, I'm not going to go out there and search. I'm already doing too much shit right here on this channel. If you are a content creator and you want to come on the show, be my guest. Sign up And then I will create, every Friday we'll go live around 12 p.m. Eastern time, and you can deliver your game plan. It'll be your game plan. All right. So that's going to be something cool that we're going to do new this year. That's the Wayne Breezie Show. On Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. It's the What's Your Fantasy Football Show with my co-host, Peachy Brown. And she can't wait to talk fantasy football with you guys. All right. So make sure you guys are locked in here. That's a live show. All right. Wednesdays, the BAM Show. All right. At 5 p.m. Eastern time with Mike Andrews from Nothing But Niners. Wednesday night at 9 p.m. is the Nitty Gritty Niner Show. All right. We'll be recapping and previewing the next game. Thursdays we'll be live doing the Madden Simulation Challenge. I got to make sure my Madden stays updated. Friday, I already told you, it's going to be the freaking Wayne Breezie Show with the game plan. Those are all the live shows that are right here on the channel. And don't forget, there's going to be uploaded videos as well as shorts. So make sure you stay locked in. That's why you got to subscribe. That's why you got to set your alerts to all. Again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Love you guys. Hope KB does get signed to this roster. Add more firepower and artillery to the San Francisco 49ers wide receiving room. The more, the merrier. We're going veteran. We're going bargain veterans, guys that are familiar, kind of like with Kyle Shanahan's system, bargain veterans, but I still like it. Week 1 is in the books. We're going to be breaking down the Seattle Seahawks all week long. You'll catch me on other channels this week as well. Tuesday, I'll be on 49ers Rush podcast with John Chapman. Thursdays, I'll be live on the 49er Carrots podcast with Steph Sanchez. All right, so make sure you stay locked in and join those guys as well. And again, if you're just tuning in, good news, breaking news, I don't know what you want to call it, Juwan Jennings is back in practice, baby. Love y'all. Stay up. Have fun fantasy football drafting, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.